While most Americans watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and gather around the table with family and friends and tell what they're thankful for, but to sports fans, it's one of the best days in sports. Watching Thanksgiving football with your family and getting mad at watching the Cowboys play and hoping the Lions can pull off an upset. I'm Wyatt of Benchwarmer Banter, and these are the top 5 Thanksgiving performances of all time. Number 5, Barry Sanders, 1997 versus the Bears. Barry Sanders and Thanksgiving football go hand in hand, and his 1997 performance was one for the ages. En route to a 55-20 victory, Barry Sanders looked like he was coming straight out of a video game, embarrassing Chicago's defense on every carry. Barry had 167 rushing yards, including a 40-yard touchdown that encapsulated his higher performance. On top of the 167 yards, Sanders went for 3 touchdowns, dismantling the Bears on national television on Turkey Day, in what was maybe one of the best rushing performances in Thanksgiving football history. With his historic performance, Sanders moved into second all-time in rushing yards and retired at that position just 1 year later. Number 4, Ernie Nevers, 1929 versus the Bears. Let's go back in time 93 years to the Chicago Cardinals running back, Ernie Nevers, in his incredible Thanksgiving performance, which was truly the inaugural Thanksgiving football. Not the first ever, but the first time it was truly special. The Battle of Chicago was a great setup for the game, and the Chicago Cardinals won this one. By a lot. Nevers rushed for 6 touchdowns in the game, which is still an NFL record to this day. With his 6 touchdowns, he also added 3 PATs for his team and a 40-6 win, scoring every point for the Cardinals that day. We've seen many breakout performances on Thanksgiving, but none quite as statistically dominant as Ernie Nevers, a name typically lost in time, but should be remembered every November. Number 3, O.J. Simpson, 1976 versus the Lions. Hearing the juice is loose today is usually hearing about how Simpson is out of prison, but back in '76, the juice was certainly loose in the Pontiac Silverdome. Only 6 players have ever rushed for over 270 yards in a single game, and to this day, Adrian Peterson owns the record with 296 yards in a game. But back in '76, Simpson created the record with 273 yards rushing against the Lions, the first player in NFL history to rush for over 270 yards. Simpson rushed for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns on 29 carries. With a game for the ages, it typically gets forgotten in history due to the fact that the Lions actually won this game 27-14. Just like the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. It doesn't mean anything if you can't pull out the dub. But it was game for the ages. Number 2, Peyton Manning, 2004 versus the Lions. Would it be a top 5 list without Peyton Manning? The answer is no, it wouldn't be. While Manning only threw for 236 yards, he went 23 for 28 and threw for 6 touchdowns, grabbing himself a perfect passer rating as well, as the most touchdowns thrown for on Thanksgiving history. In that season, Manning had 49 touchdowns, which was a record at the time, that was then broken by Tom Brady 3 years later. That was then broken by Peyton Manning once again. A common theme on this list is that for some odd reason, breakout Thanksgiving performances allude to a huge season, usually the best of one's career, and Peyton showed up and showed out against the Lions, beginning a near decade-long losing streak on the day of thanks, and also was one of their first losses in their now 6-15 record on Thanksgiving. Honorable mention, Tom Brady, 2010 versus Lions. In the game, Brady had 341 passing yards and a perfect passer rating, along with 4 passing touchdowns, capped off with 45-24 victory and a Thanksgiving loss many Detroit fans would like to forget. Number 1, rookie Randy Moss, 1998 versus the Cowboys. In 1998, the Minnesota Vikings were dismantling NFL teams, scoring 556 points that season, an NFL record at the time. The Vikings went 15-1 that year, and Randy Moss was a big reason for this. Now known as one of the best rookies in NFL history, and this game was the proving point for that. Randy only caught 3 passes that game, which doesn't sound amazing until you hear that they were all 50-plus yard touchdowns. It's a highlight many fans watch year after year and talk about 24 years later. And it was one of the best performances not only in Moss's career, not only on Thanksgiving, but in NFL history. Moss finished the game with 163 yards receiving, as well as the 3 touchdowns previously mentioned, and beat the living hell out of the Cowboys in a 46-36 win on Thanksgiving Day. Thank you guys for watching. Are there any performances we missed? Let us know in the comments. Break out the turkey, snap some wishbones, and everyone have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Benchwarmer Banter is thankful for each and every one of you, and we hope you have a good time.